Hey Leo, welcome to your February reading. As I shuffle, I'm going to have to put the mic down. As I'm talking, the mic is going to be in my face so you can hear me clearly. Please be patient while I shuffle, as you might not hear me talking if I do talk. Okay, let's go. My kids are in the background. You can probably hear them more than me right now. It is a Saturday. They are home. Oh, so cute. So please be patient with that as well. Go figure. Okay, you have some similarities to Aries on the bottom half, so there are fire sign kind of tells. Just turn your imagery. We have some new cards that I haven't had come up yet as well, which is kind of cool. I will talk about them when I get to them. So guys, it is February. It is the month ruled by Venus. It is Valentine's Day on the 14th. So I feel as though there's a lot of relationship input into the readings this month. But let's see what's in store for you, Leo. So first of all, we have the Golden Phoenix. Something you thought finished bursts back into life. Okay, so to me, I feel as though we're going through a time when things are being reborn. Tarot. Sorry, my cat. Things are being reborn, but in kind of like renewed in a new sense. I do not feel like this is relationshipy actually, is in terms of going back to an ex, and I don't believe anybody should technically go back to exes unless like the ex in question is someone who you've been separated for quite a long time, and I would say literally years, where you both have evolved and changed. If you rekindled, you'd be coming back together on a newly energetic way where you might be more compatible than you were when you finished. However, for the most part, I say no, don't do it. Don't go back to something. We're going forward, we're moving, we're changing, inviting new. Here, I feel it's more as though you may have given up hope on an area in your life. So perhaps you've given up on love. I would say this is giving me the vibes of kind of you thinking, you know what, I'm just going to focus on me, and then it's like a surprise that it comes back in, where you're attracting or feeling romantic feelings for someone, or maybe you are feeling it, even though you had told yourself you're not. And that's what I find actually happens. So when I left the UK to come to Australia, I was leaving a long-term relationship. I had been with my ex for 8 years, and I was kind of wanting marriage and kids in my future, and I couldn't see that happening. And I went through this whole little drama with my best friend where I was like, I'm not going to be having anything that I desire until I'm at least 30, because I've got to meet someone, I've got to get to know them, I've got blah, 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 and like, you know, thinking 10-year plans here, at 24 years old. So I was kind of thinking like, it's just going to be a lot longer than I thought. Anyway, and then come like a week or two later, I was in Australia and I actually met my husband who I had children with. And that all happened very quickly. But I literally was giving up on that dream really in those moments. I was like, you know what? It's probably not going to happen. I might as well just move on to better things, different things, or whatever. Not better, but different things in that moment. And I feel like when you release yourself to the universe and just say, you know what? I'm going to just focus on something else. Usually you find you attract exactly what it is that you desire on an energetic level, because you're not kind of focusing on the lack of what it is that you want. So I feel like this card actually is representing that kind of energy, where once you stop focusing on something, and again, that lack of really does sort of come to mind for me. So I feel as though maybe you've just thought you've been craving something in your life that's not there, that's kind of missing. And I do feel like you've been taking steps towards that, and not feeling it come into fruition. I feel like this is a sign that's saying once you release yourself, you may be happily surprised that you get exactly what you thought you couldn't have. Okay? Firstly, though, we have Little Wolf Girl. It's all right to be alone. And I really do feel like this is a mindset that you need to get yourself into. Now realize that being alone is not lonely. Being lonely is a totally different thing to actually just being alone. Like, I'm alone right now, right? I mean, I'm not, my kids are in the other room, but in this room, I'm alone. I'm not feeling lonely. I am talking to you guys as well. I guess it helps. For what I'm saying is, like, I'm completely content in sitting here by myself. I'm not feeling lonely because I'm not in the mindset that nobody else is around. I'm not in the mindset that I'm essentially just talking to myself into a microphone, into a laptop. I am perfectly contented in this moment of being by myself, being alone, right? This is what you need to be shifting, that mentality, that being single, for those of you that are single or those that you are feeling that that's where you should be heading, does not necessarily mean that you're going to be lonely. And actually, I feel as though in, for example, my relationship that ended last year, I feel as though I actually, part of my way of coming out of that, of why I felt it went that way for myself internally, leading to events, was that I don't want to feel alone when I'm lonely when I'm with somebody. And I always tend to get to that point in my relationships. It's something I'm trying to figure out, like, why is that happening? Like, I'm attracting people where I end up feeling lonely within a relationship. And it's all about, it's something within yourself. If you're feeling alone in a situation, if you're feeling lonely in a situation, there's reasons, right? And I definitely feel like for myself, I mean, I am actually quite contented being alone. And I feel like that's where I want you to be at. You don't want to be in a relationship where you feel lonely. So being comfortable by yourself means that when you are in a relationship, you really can differentiate between whether or not you appreciate who they are because they are your partner, they are, your counterpart, or is it because you purely just don't want to be alone? And if that is the case, you need to heal that side first, because if you are relying on someone else for that intimacy, for that level of personal comfort, so that you're not being alone, yes, the relationships perhaps won't last. And I feel like that's what I'm personally trying to work on, is really being independent on myself, on areas of my life where I don't have to rely on my partner to be that for me, to really know that in that relationship, the reasons I'm there is because it's that person. I don't believe that that's purely what I've always done. It's just towards the end, I realized that I'm getting to this point where I'm feeling lonely in a relationship. So let's heal this wound. And this is what I feel is kind of for you. Now look at her little face. She's kind of scared and daunted. I feel like it's daunting for you, an aspect of being alone. So yeah, be mindful. I feel as though there may be some disappointments in terms of relationships as well in this beginning. But let's see. Next we have, okay, I cannot say this. I'm really crap with reading names. So bear with me if I get this wrong. Quetzalcoatl? Quetzalcoatl? I'm going to show you what it says. I really cannot. I should read the book to be able to read how her name is pronounced, or how the snake's name, dragon snake, is pronounced. And the priestess of time. This time has come. The time is to act now. In terms of relationship, as I say that, I feel like if you have been toying with the idea of breaking up, if you know within your heart that that is what needs to happen, even if it's something that is daunting and scary for you, perhaps this is the time. I would say to take action, but also anything where something that empowers you. I feel like you need to be doing things for you, really, truly. This is a time of healing for you, Leo, and I feel like the leading role of decision making should entirely be placed upon what is essentially going to bring you joy, independence, fulfillment. I feel as though this dragon serpent within the image, which is the name I cannot pronounce, I feel as though it's kind of snaking around you, kind of slithering you on the right path. So I feel like this discomfort, and this is a discomfort that nearly all humans are feeling currently, this discomfort is made to really, it's like for example, if something blocks our way, I feel like we are being curved. So when we want to go in a straight line and the snake is blocking the path to make you turn that way, and then once you come to something else that does not resonate, it's snaking you back around. And this is what I'm seeing for the path that you're leading at the moment. Like, things are hiccuping for a reason to bump us into the right direction. And I feel it's as though it's like this kind of page energy of discovery, of learning, of growth, and there's a lot of wisdom with that. Sorry guys, I had to pause you because of arguments with my 2-year-old and the big kids. He likes to get things out they don't want out. Okay, I'm also channeling here. It's weird, it gives Oriental vibes, but I also have this kind of Aztec and also Egyptian vibe coming from this card. So I feel like a lot of ancient wisdom. I feel as though you really are being led to this moment. It's kind of like past wisdom, be it past lives, be it, you know, ancestral. It's just something is really pushing you to this moment, and I feel like this is really universal energy again, but this is really great for you, Leo, because I feel as though what you're going through now is really truly going to like identify you as the person that you are to be, if that makes sense. The next card we have Dragonling Garden. Oh, it's so cute. Look at that, it's so cute. A new world is born, and this is what I feel for you. It really is coming into this new. This is why I'm getting this sign in terms of relationships. They're being like just a re-spark. So, for example, if you're in a relationship and, you know, it's not like, oh, I don't want to end this or anything. It could be that there are downs, and I feel like this is the spark that's needed during this time. And it comes with, again, making sure that you are actioning to better your world. And I do feel like you are a key here to kind of driving this force. So if in relationships you're usually the one that allows your partner to take the lead, I feel as though this really the healing hand is you to this. But I feel like new is definitely on the horizon. Whether this being literally a new garden, like moving, traveling, something new coming into what is, could definitely be resonating with that. However, those of you that are all out with the old, in with the new, or even if you do not have an old and you're in with the new, I definitely see new sparks here, and it nurturing something into being. And again, I do feel like you need to be the one that's nurturing. You're the one that needs to be driving this and making sure that it resonates with who you are and what you're wanting to grow. And I feel like that is it will very easily come to you once you realize what it is that you need to essentially heal within yourself. I really am getting quite powerful here. Like, I feel as though you are definitely the one who is in control of the situations in your life. Funnily, the next card is very similar to this Dragonling card energy, because we have Artemis of the Forest. So how are you independent? Now you are independent and free. It really is signifying breakups. I'm sorry guys for Leo. I just kind of feel like they're breaking free from something. Now this does not have to be romantic, it does not have to be relationships, but I just feel that there's an underlying here that if you are in something that's not completely helpful you or with who you are now, I do feel like you're being guided to make the changes that you need to make in your life. Because it's like breaking free from something and beginning something new. I would say it's kind of death card energy. So death card energy is literally letting go, releasing things that no longer serve us anymore, and inviting in the new, opening new doors, that kind of close one door, open another, that kind of energy. And you are supported through this. Through these cards, there is a phoenix which literally dies, tower card moments. It dies down to the ashes and is reborn from the ashes. Much bolder, brighter, smarter. This is exactly what I'm seeing for you, Leo. New beginnings, that kind of energy. And it's like you're leaving this lonely wolf energy where there's no sidekick, there's no support, and coming into this new energy where you are fully supported by the energies around you and by people, by those that you're attracting to you. It's like the new that you invite, including people, is exactly the medicine that you need. Look at this. So this is the Mermaid of Immersion, complete commitment. I feel as though you need to make a decision and stick with it. So you really need to have this sit down with yourself and think, what is it that I need? What do I need to change? And then commit to that change. To me, all these little fishies, that's all of what we could be attracting. She gives me this moody vibe, but in a way that is focused. And I'm getting that focus for you, Leo. I feel as though this is a time for you really, truly to switch up that dial, to focus in on your desires. And you have exactly what you need as well. And I feel like literally it could come quite quickly to you. Like as though, like in that very first card that I said to you, once you make a commitment, once you decide on something, you may be pleasantly surprised that that's exactly the key ingredient that gets the ball rolling and actually attracts things to you that you thought were out of reach. The Mermaid and the Turtle Woman, that an elder will teach you. Lean on the support of others, but definitely seek wisdom from someone older than you or someone who's been through something that is similar to your situation. I feel as though there is some key kind of little whispers is what I feel like it might be. So maybe it's not even coming directly to you, or it might be though you've overheard something which can help you. I don't know. And it could even be like a Chinese whisper. So this could be, like some kind of gossip going around, which helps you to make a decision too, because it just kind of feels as though it's whispered upon your ear, which to me, sometimes I signify that as, you're overhearing something. So, or something has come into your awareness, I guess. I do get this sense of you, kind of distancing yourself from people, which is what I got with that lone wolf. So be wary, because I kind of feel as though distancing yourself from people is not what you should be doing, because I get this sense of having people around you, new people as well, like new circles. So even like taking up a new hobby and being around new people is what you need. But at the same time, I feel as though you yourself are distancing from people. So perhaps that's the healing here, is to and I can totally relate, but get yourself out there, meeting new, rather than giving into that feel of distancing and basically keeping yourself, I want to say stagnant, because when we do, we take ourselves away from the world, we're no longer participating in our life as such, because we're choosing to kind of shield and put our walls up. And I feel like, Leo, you've done a lot of that in the past. And it's now time to kind of let yourself shine. So coming on to our last card, Leo. I'm actually getting through this pretty quick. It's pretty cool. Elizabeth and the Lion. It's time to become a great leader. Definitely a time to shine. It's time for you to, look, that's you. You're a Leo. But in the tarot, the lion represents strength, or it's on the strength card anyway. And to me, this represents kind of our weaknesses, our vulnerabilities, or our vulnerabilities that we perceive as weaknesses anyway. That's how I kind of read it and explain it myself. This is essentially our asset. This is what will help. This is what makes you you. It's a part of your makeup. It's a part of really how you are going to achieve whatever you do. Because if you work with the energy that you are, rather than trying to become an energy that you're not, you truly are going to achieve greater things at a much quicker rate. You're building up from an authentic space. So I've got an itchy lip. And also, again, like I said, this is you, Leo card. You're a leader. You're a born leader. You are the sign that typically signifies the lion, the courage, the confidence. It's within you. I do feel as though I get this sense of an external support. I do feel like that you are attracting somebody who can be very supportive of you and see you from your vulnerable side. So I would essentially allow yourself to be more vulnerable with connections, especially if you are seeking out love or healing your current relationship. Being more vulnerable will be the asset to that. If being more vulnerable does the opposite, it shows you exactly that is not a space for you as well. I just felt like adding that in there from over here, not from this card specifically. I feel like it's time for you to shine your light. It's time for you to step into the role of what do I want and go for it, make that decision and commit. Thank you so much, Leo. Thank you for being here. Please subscribe to my channel and stay up to date with all future readings and any content that I put up. Thank you for being here. I greatly appreciate it. I'll see you next month.